So give us an idea of just what this economy has gone through and when you expect economic activity to start being normalized here, because not just have you had COVID, but you've also had on top of that not exactly what you might call a rather advantageous or beneficial typhoon season.
Well, let's put it this way. In the third quarter, our economy actually grew 8% compared to the second quarter. Of course, compared to last year, we are still down for the third quarter about 11.5%, and for the 9 months around 10% down from last year. But we are seeing a lot of green shoots coming up. We're very happy that our remittances from abroad are holding up. They have not declined as much as we expected. They're only down about 2.5% from last year. We were expecting something in excess of 5%. Our housing market for residential homes is holding up well. Our foreign exchange reserves are the highest ever at 104 billion US dollars, and our peso has increased in value by 4.9% since the beginning of the year. We are having difficulty, of course, due to the contagion with re-stimulating people's demand. People are still very cautious about getting sick, and therefore, are holding back on spending. But we believe that we are on the right track, and we will see a better performance in the last quarter of this year.
I mean, will we see a big bounce back that we've seen with some of these other countries there as well? I mean, what have you got penciled in there, Secretary?
I beg your pardon, what's the question?
I was asking whether you expect a big bounce back for the economy, the same sort of bounce backs that we've seen in other ones after actually seeing really huge contractions. So what are you penciling in for the fourth quarter in terms of growth, very quickly?
We are, first of all, assuming that an effective vaccine will be available sometime in the, by the first half of next year. And that should inject a lot of confidence back into our country. And as a result of that, we do expect a big bounce back in our GDP growth next year. You have to understand that when this contagion hit us, we were in very good financial condition. As you know, our debt to GDP ratio has been the lowest it's ever been at the end of 2019. Our preparations, which we started in 2016, for our big build program, which actually has been quite successful. Actually, this big financial buildup has buttressed our country from the financial effects of the contagion. So while we are seeing a drop in the GDP growth, we are still in very good financial health.
Finance Secretary, you're talking there about the vaccine helping the rebound, though. What about getting people to spend, particularly those who have been locked down and perhaps lost their jobs? Are you looking at further fiscal support?
What has happened actually is our job market has actually picked up. The worst we hit was in April. But after that, the jobs that were lost then have started coming back, and we are slowly bringing down our unemployment rate to where it was at the end of last year, which was below 5%. So we're looking at that, and we think that the stimulus that will come out of our budget and the other measures that we are passing to reduce corporate income taxes, etc., are certainly going to put more money in the hands of the private sector and, of course, to individuals.
Do you need to borrow more, and if so, how much from the central bank?
Well, at the moment, we have borrowed 540 billion pesos, and at this point in time, we don't see any need to do so. But again, you know, we still have some reserve amounts with the central bank and with our other creditors, and we are just waiting to see if we will need them, depending on how long this contagion is going to last. But as I said, with the with the development of safe and effective vaccines by next year and their availability, we see no need to get out of the normal loan programs that we have planned.
Secretary, we had the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, signed over the weekend. People talking about the biggest trade deal ever. Tell me a little bit about how the Philippines anticipates to benefit from this.
Well, first of all, it's about time we signed it. It's 8 years in the making. And we were really pushing this for this program because we believe that, Southeast Asia and the members of the RCEP are complementary to each other and will certainly benefit from this big trade program. We are, of course, opening our markets as well as taking advantage or looking at exports to our different RCEP partners, particularly China.